Hi everyone, and welcome to Friday Funbits, and this is going to be the last one for the year for 2011. So I thought I would do a top 10 list, and these are in no particular order. These just happen to be the things that I reach for and apparently can't seem to live without. So you are probably all aware of the fact that my pokey tool has been in rehab. And I've realized how much I really enjoy this. This particular one is from a Making Memories set, which I think may have been one of my first craft tool purchases, maybe close to, oh wow, 15 years ago? 16 years ago? It was after I got married, so yeah, like around 15 years ago. And thanks to Artsy Mouse Dawn, who had it retooled because I broke off the tip of it while picking through some of my Sizzix dies. So this is a wonderful thing to have on hand, particularly a metal one. When you're embossing, you could hold down an item. Just remember, this does heat up, and this is just a protective shield. You would take that off. This is great for picking out those extra little nooks and crannies out of your steel dies. It could be utilized to twist things around if you need a really fine barrel, much smaller than a paintbrush end or a pencil, and really fine. So this is my go-to must-have, is a pokey tool. There are lots of different ones out on the market. While this one was in rehab, I had to cheat on it with one that is from my clay set. Let me see if I could reach that. So this is the one that I was using, but you see it's shorter, and this one is much longer, so I really like that one. So that's number one. Or it's 1 of 10. Unlike the previous fave of 2011, this is a relatively recent one, and I got this in November. I think it came out the 15th, so November 15th. This is my Kindle Fire. Oh, you're going to see lots of reflection. Let me just move that. So I love this because it affords me great flexibility. I could read my emails, I could watch videos on it. I don't have to be, tethered to my office or my, the room that has all my computers in it. The one thing I wish it would do is communicate with my Cricut Mini. And grant you, there is a port, and I'm going to see if I could find the correct male-female end for the other one. So maybe I could use this with a Cricut Craft Room. That's something that would be fabulous, because then I won't need to be near my computer or have my Gypsy. So and use the craft room. I love being able to shop. You could see this particular cover that I have has a space for cards, and what I did is I put in all the gift cards that I've received for the holidays in here, so then I have them readily accessible if I want to go and do a little shopping. So, and it has auto orientation, so if you tilt it, change it, portrait versus landscape, you can make things larger. Let me see if I can go to my YouTube. And I'm sorry about all the reflection. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous sunny day, so I'm just going to enjoy it and not complain. So, but you're seeing my camera right there. And you can increase the size. You could make it smaller. So you have, you can even edit on it. So it's relatively interactive. There is a fix that's going in for some of the touch sensitivity issues that have been reported by people. So hopefully that will be resolved sooner than later. The other cool thing about this is about the Kindle, and not just the Fire. I think all the Kindles have this compatibility. You can download PDF files. And what I did is some of the newest Cricut cartridges, the handbooks, I've downloaded to my desktop, and then uploaded via the cable to my Kindle, so I can always reference it that way, so I don't have to have anything really with me besides my Gypsy or my Kindle. So that's my number 2 or second of 10 for 2011 faves. This is the third of 10, and it's 6x6 pads. I've been semi-obsessed with them this year. I really love the scale, especially since I make so many cards. They have really nice... A lot of companies produce 12x12, and some produce 12x12s and 8x8s, and some produce 12x12s, 8x8s, and 6x6 pattern papers. And I really love the 6x6 because everything is so beautifully scaled down. So if you see something you really, really love in a 12x12 and the company also produces the smaller versions of them, I would check them out, because you might really like, especially if you make cards or smaller projects, the scale is just really, really lovely. And the only thing that I've noticed is not continuous. For example, a 12x12 paper could have an embellished texture, glitter, epoxy, flock. That's not always the case for the smaller versions. The only company that does do that is k&co, and their packs are, the specialty packs do have the glitter or the epoxy similar to what the 12x12s have. See? And that's a very nice touch. I wish that was always the case. The other thing that you need to keep in mind, and this is something I found out purely through trial and error, some of the pattern paper quality is different between 12x12 and 6x6 or 8x8. The 12x12, and if I recall which companies they are, I will list them either on the screen or in the description, or on my blog, probably on my blog because it might get lengthy. They not only scale down the pattern, they also step back on some of the quality of the paper. So if you really, really like the thickness of the designer paper in a 12x12, and you have an opportunity to touch and feel the smaller version of the paper, you might notice, especially in some of the companies that I can think of off the top of my head, like 7 Gypsies, the smaller paper is not quite the same quality as the larger paper. And I don't know whether it's because of the scale or because of whoever they contract with, you know, the manufacturing, but I have noticed that. Not everyone is that way though. Graphic 45, the paper quality is identical between the 12x12 and the 8x8. Graphic 45 do not make a 6x6, but the 8x8 is a lovely stack. Let me see if I have one nearby. So this is the 8x8s from Graphic 45, and they are double-sided. That's another thing that some of the things that you might want to check if you are placing an order for a smaller scale and you like the larger 12x12 version. Double check to make sure that it is truly double-sided if the originals are. Sometimes they are not. So there's my 3 of 10 top faves for the year. Number 4, or 4th of top 10, is foam. Be it foam sheets like these from Crafter Squares from Dollar Tree, which comes 16 to a pack, or these glitter ones, which are individually sold, or these Creatology, Michael's brand of kids ones. I love, and these are actually even adhesive backed. Oh, Mushy's making an appearance. Hi, Mush. I love thickers, but I don't really love sometimes the price or having quite that many or running out of letters. So what I do is I simply pick out my favorite strip dies, and these are from Sizzix. This is Tim Holtz typewriter market, and this one is Hayseed Alphabet. and I make my own as needed with either the foam or the glitter foam, which I made in several projects. I think most recently the Hanukkah projects I made for my niece, which I totally forgot to give her this. So those are the glitter thickers that I made with the glitter fun foam. So this is my current obsession, or one of my current obsessions, is this foam. And I know that a lot of you have asked questions. It die cuts very nicely with steel dies. When you're cutting letters, you need to place the side that you want upside down. So if you're going to cut this green foam, I would turn it and run it through the machine upside down this way. Then you'll have the letters in the correct, with the glitter on the correct side. So you always want to do your presentation side down in the die cuts. So there's 4 of top 10. 5 of top 10 2011 is Smooch. It's just like nail polish for your crafty bits. I know I showed the azure blue that I had, and then I acquired a few more. This is gorgeous purple. And what I did is they're sealed at the stem with the name. So I just ripped off the name and put it on the bottom. So I could show you from when I do projects. This is Sugarberry. And I got these in 2 packs. I think most of these in 2 packs from Blitsy. But let me show you quickly why I love it so. So here's a very pretty flower. It's from Wilder Crafts. What I did is I kissed the petals with this, let's see which one this is, Siren, with this Siren Smooch. And it just adds a little glimmer and a shine, but it gives you great application, because with these flat petals I was able to go in, just create a starburst effect. Let me show you. It looks just like a nail polish. See? And it's easy to use, non-porous, on paper, fabric. Sorry. It dries pretty quickly, just like nail polish. If you have a substantial thickness, like if you're doing multiple coats, just let it air dry. Do not heat set this, because it will bubble unless that's the effect that you want. Although because this is, it is archival, but there are chemicals in it, you may not want to heat this up to produce fumes, because that might be toxic. So that's 5 of top 10. This next one, actually, I have to provide a disclaimer. I do design for this company, but one of the reasons why I design for this company is because I truly believe in the product. And this is Stamper's Best mounting cushion foam, which I have unmounted, what you see in front of you, this ginormous binder. I've unmounted all of my wood mounted and foam mounted stamps and remounted them on this cushion foam, and then put them in binders on these great cards, which are also available from Stamper's Best. Without having done this, I had a ginormous tote full of stamps that I never accessed. I didn't want to dig through it. I had no display area. I know a lot of people have very pretty display areas with their wood-mounted stamps. I simply didn't have the space or a good way of organizing them. So the best thing for me is to have unmounted them from wood and foam and put them on this cushion. And the cushion works wonderfully. It's easy to cut. I have a couple of different videos where I show using a hot knife, which I love using on this. So, and for example, these are some of the Michael's Dollar Spot stamps, which are great, but if you have, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 of them, they add up. And I saved these to make a project with, which I am working on to share with everyone, but this is my combined 6 of top 10. It's the cushion foam and mounting sheets. The cushion, the cling stamp storage cards from Stamper's Best. 6 of top 10. So I have to give you another disclaimer. The other company that I designed for is Wild Orchid Crafts. I'm also the design team lead for the YouTube Wild Bunch, but I cannot live without the rhinestone packs. And they're 100 packs, 100 to a pack, and they come in 3 different sizes, which is great flexibility for when you want to finish off a project that has continuity and you can use the same color, and they have a plethora of options. The spectacular sapphire blue, clear, deep red, the bright pink, the lavender, tealy green, purple, light blue, amber gold, regular red, olive green, Kelly green, these sepia ones, which are, there you go, pale pink. I reach for these over and over again. I think I may have added at least 1 or 2 packs to every single one of my design team kits when we place the orders. Every time I order, I reorder the ones that I run out of. These are often in my giveaways. I share them with friends. I love these. I love, love, love these. I love being able to have the 3mm, 4mm, and 5mm all in one pack, all in the same color. It allows me to have the clean look in my finished projects where there's consistency. So, and they not only do they have the rhinestones, they also have the pearls, and the pearls come in various packs as well. In kits, all one tone, and then different sizes. So I could not live without these. I just adore these, but especially the rhinestones that I reach for over and over again. So this is 6 of the top 10 for 2011. 7 of my top 10 for 2011 is Craft Color Cardstock, but this one in particular, it's from Paper Studio, which is available at Hobby Lobby only. And thanks to my very generous crafty friends, Robin and Nancy, who have sent me several packs, so I'm down to my last one. And I use craft paper for everything. Cards, embellishments, mini books, you name it, I've used craft. I love the nature feel, the organic. This paper is such good heft. It's a really nice weight. Embossing looks gorgeous on it, with or without ink over it. It's just a lovely product to work with. So if you haven't yet checked out the Paper Studio Craft cardstock packs, the one thing I wish they had is, we don't have any Hobby Lobbies in New England, but when we were on our road trip in June to Florida and back, I stopped in and they had these note cards, and they were on sale, but they only had the cream. I wish if they do have it, I obviously didn't see it in this craft, and if they had it in black, I probably would have cleared them out. So if anybody knows whether Paper Studio puts out the value pack note cards in craft in the A2 size, I'd be more than thrilled to PayPal you so you could pick some up for me, because I have never seen it and I would love to have that, because I make so many cards with craft. So, and that's Stamper's Best stamp. Isn't that cute? So, yeah, I just love it. Listen to how thick this is. It's almost like chipboard. but it's not. It's just a piece of craft color paper. So this is 7 of top 10. 8 of top 10 for 2011. I have to combine these two in order to make my top 10, but these are all things that shimmer. And I know that lots of people love Glimmer Mist, and I have a container of Glimmer Mist, but I do find that I reach over and over for my Lindy Stamp gang products. So, and primarily the stains with dauber tops. I find them the easiest to use. I keep the spray ones that I swap out in the little Ziploc in case I do need to use them. I never toss them. I have extra hairy and baldy dauber tops, and when they're getting low, particularly if it's a clear, like a gold spray, I will amend them with micas. And these are nail polish or eyeshadows from LA Colors, and they typically run $1 or less, 99 cents. I've seen them as low as 75. So I have a stash of different shades, but really this is the most useful one. It's the white one, and I think it's called Snow White. So shimmer, if you just want a light shimmer. If you want brilliance with no color, it's the Glitz Spritz. If you want shimmer and depth of background color, Starburst Stains. There's also plethora of the brown tone, drawing a blank. I'll include a link in the description, but Lindy Stamp gang products are great value. They ship brilliantly without any liquid in them, so they're affordable shipped. Nothing spills because it's just mica. You add the water. If you have hard water, I've noted it's been noted to use filtered water, or what's that water that comes in gallons at the drugstore. But only if you find that you have hard water or things got moldy. I did check mine, and I've had some of them for almost 2 years, and there's no mold on any of mine, so I was lucky. So this is 8 of top 10 for 2011. 9 of top 10 is die cutting and embossing, and I couldn't pick one, so obviously even these old-fashioned Sizzix embossing folders, this is Happy Hanukkah one, or this newer little house one, it's a project that I'm working on, or the Cuttlebug two-step ones where you can cut and emboss, or the Sizzlets, which will only cardstock, or the heavy-duty Tim Holtz alterations. I love them. I love using scraps for the little Sizzlets. I love the flexibility, especially since I make so many cards and invitations, to put something out that looks professional, be it for my business or for friends and family. So I have a Cricut, I have a Cricut Imagine, I have a Cricut Expression, Cricut Imagine, and Cricut Mini, and I use all of them. I find that there is a appropriate use for some versus others. Here's some little embellishments that I made. They're all 3D. This is with my Imagine. So I love the die cutting machines, and I do have a Tim Holtz Vagabond, but I also have a Cuttlebug. I find that now I use my Cuttlebug for embossing and the Tim Holtz Vagabond for actual die cutting, especially the extra large dies. Love being able not to have to crank because my hand was just getting tired, and because I do a lot of typing for work and a lot of mouse work, I find that I was getting it deterred me from using the die cutting machine, so having the Vagabond is fabulous. And even when my husband picks up some of these little dies that he picked up for $2 for me at a consignment shop, I have been using them. This is the other one that I use for my version of thickers. So this is 9. Is that right? This 8 or 9? I'll keep track of them on screen because I'm doing this as little segments. So stay tuned for, I think, the last one. So this is the last one, and it's hokey, but it's absolutely true. It's you guys. I don't think that I would be where I am without the interactive feedback that I get, comments, constructive criticism, even the not so constructive criticism, just flat out dislike. That's fine. I think that's what makes me grow, and that has been part of my top 10 of 2011. So the question that I post to you guys for Friday Funbits is, what is your top 10? It doesn't have to be specifically crafting items. It could just be things that you don't think you could do without. Whether it's, you know, your music when you craft or whatever it is. And make it lighthearted. It doesn't have to be serious. I hope I didn't come across as too serious, but I just wanted to do this because, you know, it being the end of the year, and I always utilize the time to kind of reflect, see where I am, and give myself an opportunity and a goal for where I want to be. So, you know, I love video responses. So for those of you who do videos, share with us your top 10. Top 10 of 2011. Crafty or otherwise. Would love to see them. If you don't do videos, leave a comment. That would be fabulous as well. So I look forward to creating more interactive videos for everyone to participate in 2012. Very strange having to say that out loud. Although for my job I have been putting in 2012 dates for like the last 5 or 6 months. It's just always strange. Good thing I don't write out checks anymore, because I'd probably continuously write the wrong date. And that's okay. So luckily systems figure that out and pre-populate the correct one for us. So thank you so much for sticking out for this long. I enjoy doing Friday Fun Bits. If you have any requests for future episodes, please feel free to leave me a comment. I will have a couple of tutorials over the next few days. I was requested to do a tutorial on the use of Smooch and kind of what I do with it, as well as the Score It All tool, and I will give you my very honest opinion, and that's what reviews from my point of view are. They're my honest, unsolicited opinion. I don't get paid for them, and I'm not on the payroll for any of the companies. I don't receive any of those products for free. It's purchases I've made, and I give you my perspective from having spent the money, whether the item is worth it or not. So there you go. Top 10 of 2011. Can't wait to see your video responses or your comments in the description below. Stop by my blog. I'll have a full list of all the information, including links if you're interested in purchasing any of the items that I've discussed or went over. I probably could have added 10 more. And so on my blog, I'll have honorable mentions, which I could not fit into the top 10. Thank you so much for watching.